Have you ever driven down a long, empty highway in the American West and felt like you were completely alone? Well, you weren't. You were driving alongside ghosts. Beneath the sagebrush and asphalt lie the spectral lines of the Great Migration, a hidden map of the Oregon, California, and Mormon trails. These aren't just the marked historical routes you see on a map. We're talking about the lost pathways, the desperate shortcuts and forgotten detours taken by pioneers to escape disease, disaster, or an early winter. Today, we're decoding this invisible cartography, and we're starting with the grass itself. The first clue is in the ground. The crushing weight of 500,000 wagons compressed the soil so violently that even today, nearly 2 centuries later, the earth remembers. In the spring after the rains, grass, in these old ruts, or swales, grows taller and greener because the compacted earth holds moisture longer. Then, in the late summer heat, it yellows faster. From a high ridge at sunset, you can sometimes see them. Faint parallel lines stretching to the horizon. These are the scars of an empire moving west. Recently, researchers using drones and special imaging technology found a mythical shortcut called Herald Drift. They didn't find it by looking for a trail, but by mapping the vegetation. The wagons had so thoroughly destroyed the delicate soil crust that a perfectly straight line of invasive grass now grows where the pioneers passed. A map written in the weeds. The pioneers also left a trail of iron breadcrumbs. The journey west was a grim calculation of weight versus survival. As oxen weakened, families were forced to abandon their heaviest possessions. Grandfather clocks, cast iron stoves, and fine china were simply left on the roadside. For archaeologists, a lost trail isn't just a depression in the dirt. It's a debris field. Take the legend of the lost Blue Bucket Mine. A wagon train, hopelessly lost, supposedly found gold nuggets, but, thinking they were brass, left them behind to save weight. While the mine is still a myth, the route itself has been traced by finding clusters of old, square-headed nails. When a wagon broke, pioneers would often burn the wood for warmth, leaving behind a pile of metal hardware. Finding a heap of 19th century nails in the middle of nowhere is like finding an X on a treasure map. It proves history passed this way. But the most haunting clues are the whispers left in stone. On the main trails, you'll find famous emigrant registers, like Independence Rock, covered in thousands of names. But on the forgotten paths, the messages are more intimate. In a hidden crevice in Nevada's Black Rock Desert, you can find names scratched with knife points. Messages like, Jedediah Holt, July, 1849, no water for 2 days. God help us. These aren't just graffiti. They're 19th century geolocators. By finding the same name carved hundreds of miles apart, historians can calculate the speed of a wagon train. When the math doesn't add up, it means they went off route, blazing a lost trail of their own. So why did they risk it? Why deviate from the known path? The answer often lies in what I call the salesmen of death. These were entrepreneurs who published emigrant guides, the equivalent of 19th century travel blogs often, promoting shortcuts they never even traveled. For an exhausted family with sick children, the promise of shaving weeks off the journey was an irresistible temptation. One diary revealed a heartbreaking story of a wagon train that got lost following a mirage. Desperate for water, they chased a phantom lake across the desert, carving a trail of sorrow that leads to nowhere. Today, we use incredible technology like LIDAR, which uses lasers to create a 3D map of the ground, digitally stripping away all the trees and grass. What it reveals is breathtaking. Under modern cornfields, we can say the ghost braids of the Oregon Trail, where wagons fanned out a mile wide to cross muddy ground. These lost pathways aren't just historical curiosities. They are the very DNA of America. They determined where cities were founded and where railroads were built. Interstate 80 is basically a paved version of a pioneer route. When you drive across the country, you're following in the wagon ruts of those who came before. The map is not truly lost. It's right beneath our tires, a quiet testament to human resilience, waiting for those with the eyes to see it. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this journey into the past, be sure to follow for more.